Okay, so now we're going to take a look at question booklet 2. So you guys are fresh off your 15 minutes of disappointingly dry granola bar and juice box. Definitely a moment to use the washroom as well, because if you try and go to the bathroom through the course of the actual exam, I'm pretty sure you get someone coming with you. Which isn't always comfortable. So take the 15 minutes wisely. Don't spend it on your Snapchat streaks or stressing your friends out, okay? So going into booklet 2, looks very similar to booklet 1. You're going to get 2 booklets, just like the first session. One's questions, one's answers. There'll be constant reminders not to answer in the question booklet, but if for ease of getting the information out, you need to do that temporarily before putting the information into your answer booklet. There's no major penalty for doing so. There will be reminders all through the question booklet that is not where your answers are supposed to go. As promised, when we were talking about this last week, see how the sections continue? It doesn't restart at A. Booklet number 2 will start at section G. And the first thing you're going to see is the big bad boy writing a series of paragraphs. Also known in an old school sense as the opinion piece. But don't let the series of paragraphs part throw you off when you open up your second booklet. Your opinion pieces were all beautifully done. The only thing that I was seeing in 2 circumstances that wouldn't have been a fail were that the order of your examples in the introduction did not match with the order of your actual paragraphs in the body of your opinion piece. So be really careful to keep that order. A quick little plan is a good way to do that, but otherwise they were really, really well done. Just like we talked about last week, it's going to say to write a minimum of 3 paragraphs expressing an opinion. What does that really mean? Yes. What about the opinion? Can you sit on the fence? What if it's about celebrities and being good role models? Nah, you gotta pick one side. Pick the one that seems like the easiest for you to defend. You're in your answer booklet. The news report gave you 1 page. This beast is gonna give you 2 pages. You really want to aim to fill up those 2 pages. If you end up with 1 line at the end or 2, it's not the end of the world. If you end up with more than 3 or 4 lines at the end, there's a good chance you're gonna lose marks. This is also the point, my lovely French immersion people, that you don't want to get too how would you say, ambitious. You don't want to be using words that you're not quite sure if you're spelling correctly. You don't want to necessarily be really trying to impress them with your intellect or your knowledge on a certain issue or of your expressing your opinion. Member conventions are being marked here. It really is a matter of picking 3 reasons why you have the opinion that you have, and giving reasons why in 3 different paragraphs with an introduction and a conclusion. This particular sample exam is using this question: is it a good idea for high school students to have a part-time job? Again, you can give tons of reasons why and why not. Just pick the side that you feel is easiest for you to defend. I suggest taking a minute and planning it out before opening your answer booklet and actually writing the opinion piece out. At least lay out your 3 answers so that you know you're following the same order, okay? If you want to put a little bit of plan in here, they're just saying not to write in that area because it's not going to get marked. Okay, so you get the big one over with. Now you can kind of take a deep breath, because now you know your 2 big writing tasks are done, and all you have to do is get through the second booklet. So the next section is a writing section. As soon as you see writing, you know that you're not looking for an article. You know that you're not looking for a reading selection. And these are kind of the real basic English grammar kind of multiple choice questions. Again, you should be looking at your answer booklet. If you need to scratch and consider things on this side, you can, but your answers need to go in your answer booklet. Just to take 1 second to look at an example. Choose the sentence that is written correctly. F, improving your focus, starting the day with breakfast. G, regular exercise result in better mental functioning. H, taking frequent breaks can improve focus and concentration. J, concentrating better with music or television playing in the background. It's tricky, right? If you don't, there is one that is wrong, but if I hadn't read them out loud, if I hadn't taken a second, and I do not encourage you to start reading your questions out loud in the middle of the gym, but you need to kind of have an out loud voice in your head, especially with these grammar things. and especially as French immersion students, you might not be able to identify the mistake just in looking at it in writing. But if you say it out loud in your head, you're going to hear the mistake a lot faster than you're going to see the mistake. And I know this because I was a French immersion student myself. You don't learn English grammar the same way that the rest of the English student province do. But if you say it out loud in your head, you're going to hear the mistake, even if you can't identify the mistake in writing. Okay. Again, just getting back to some advice I gave you guys last week, multiple choice questions, even if you absolutely have no idea and you've read it 15 times and you're looking at it and you're drawing a total blank, there are strategies that can still be used. You can look at the ones that you know aren't right. There's almost always a gift. There's no way this is the one, okay? You know this is correct, and take it out of the equation. Because now you're only guessing out of 3. I know you guys aren't old enough to gamble, but your odds just got exponentially better, okay? And guess from the 3. If you can narrow it down to 2, guess from the 2. You absolutely should not be leaving any of these questions blank. Try and get to the right answer without guessing. But if at the end of the day, that's what has to happen, narrow it down and cross your fingers. I'm sure you guys all have great karma. You're definitely not getting a point for a non-answer. So you might as well take a guess. Okay. So then section I is a reading section. As you can see, we've got another reading selection. We've got the paragraphs marked off, which is beautiful. Ooh, look at that. 2-pager, okay? Again, depending on your particular individual strategies, you may consider taking a second, skipping over the reading selection, and taking a look at the multiple choice questions. So somewhere in those beautiful brains of yours, you know what you're looking for in terms of a name or a date or a detail. It's not a bad idea, but it absolutely isn't going to work for everybody. If you have to go back and forth to the reading selection, that is not the end of the world. You just, time is a little bit of an issue in this exam. So you have 2 pages in this reading selection. You also have 2 pages of multiple choice questions relating to that reading selection, but there's no open answer. It was all multiple choice, which is a little bit easier, I think. Section J, read the selection below and answer the questions. Okay, you guys kind of have it at this point. This looks like, just based on the style of it, a dialogue. You'll see from the PowerPoint presentation that I put on our cheat sheet there, all the reading selections are different formats. Some are kind of reporting in nature, some are dialogue-y. This is definitely a dialogue. I can tell by all of the quotation marks. And again, here are your multiple choice questions. You can take a look at them ahead of time if you want or not. In this particular section, you have 2 open response questions. You'll probably have 4 or 5 empty lines in your answer booklet to answer them. The first one, does Jerry believe that Hannah's suggestions will help him? So your opening line for your answer is answering that question. Is it a yes? Yes, Jerry believes that Hannah's suggestions will help him. Or no, Jerry does not believe that Hannah's suggestions will help him, okay? And then in question 6, they're asking for specific details. How many are you going to give? 2 or 3, please and thank you. And then to support your answer. Make sure that they are supporting your answer. Then don't give me details about Jerry's fashion sense and his cool running shoes. It really should be answering the question. So the supporting details need to defend whether Jerry believes or doesn't believe that Hannah's suggestions will help him. Number 7, what does this selection show about Jerry and Hannah's relationship? So this is a little bit more analysis, a little bit more deep. Are they getting along? Are they fighting? I'm not sure because I didn't read it. But again, your answer should start with the answer. So the reading selection shows that Jerry and Hannah's relationship is tense or is healthy, whatever it is. And then use specific details from the selection. Again, 2 to 3 details to support whether you're calling their relationship tense, whether you're calling their relationship healthy, whether you're calling their relationship dysfunctional. I don't know. I didn't read the article. I didn't read the text. But make sure that your 2 to 3 supports are supporting the answer that you've given. Section K, you can see is writing. This does not relate to a reading selection. You can just tell by looking at it. And it's asking you to identify one action you take in your daily life to be healthy. If you are the most unhealthy human being in the whole wide world and nothing you do could even remotely be interpreted as healthy, make it up. Okay. We're not judging your lifestyle choices. This isn't about choosing the best thing that you can do for yourself during the day to be healthy. Just identify or make up one. Again, don't get like, if you're the most healthy human being in the whole wide world, don't try and show off and give 15 different things that you do in your life that make you the healthiest person in the world, because the assessor is going to say, oh, well, Emma didn't read the question well enough, so you're going to lose points instead of impressing someone with your healthy choices. So you're identifying one action that you take in your daily life to be healthy. If you can't think of one, make one up. And then you're going to use specific details to explain how this action contributes to your health. You want to read these questions carefully. You don't want to give one action. So let's say you do yoga in the morning when you wake up before you have breakfast. Okay. That's the one thing that you do, to be a healthy, person. So you would, open your, writing task with, one action that I take in my daily life to be healthy is I do a half an hour of yoga every morning before breakfast. And then you're going to elaborate with specific details explaining how this action contributes to your health. So you're not going to then talk about how awesome yoga is and how you have the coolest yoga mat because it's got pink flowers on it that match your yoga pants. Okay. You're not just going to go into a big thing about yoga. You need to answer the question. And the question is, how does this action contribute to your health? So you can talk about how you start on an active foot, how it makes you have a healthy breakfast, how it gets your blood circulating. It's good for your flexibility in the morning so that your neck isn't hurting all day. And you're just going to talk about how those things actually contribute to your health, not how much you love yoga or how much your yoga mat matches your yoga shorts or anything like that. Okay. Make sure to read the questions carefully. Do not write in this area. You'll have something in these. Ooh, that's a long one. You see that? I'm assuming based on this, we can take a look at the answer booklet in a second, that you're going to be writing quite a large writing selection for that. But we'll take a look at the answer booklet. So again, section L, reading. So this is kind of graphed in nature. So you're not just reading, it's not just your literacy on writing, but it's also understanding graphs. So don't just quickly go through this. Take a second, make sure you understand it. Oh yeah, this is super graphic in nature. It's going to have a lot of information in it. Again, if you want to take a peek at the multiple choice questions ahead of time so you know what you're looking for, this is actually something where you're not going to be necessarily at a disadvantage in French immersion. It's very visual. Multiple choice questions, no open answer, and that is the end of booklet 2. So, and that generally, guys, is the order by which I've seen the questions in all of the years that I've been doing this. So again, I'm only even more confident that this is the order that you're going to see for the OSSLT. Okay. So I'm just going to take a second, on this video to open the answer booklet so you guys can take a quick look at it. And I also want to look at that writing task. So see how it looks exactly like the question booklet, except it says answers. Okay. You want to make sure, that you're answering in the right section and in the right booklet. Rough notes, that's probably for your opinion piece, right? Because that was the first thing we saw in the question booklet. So you can make your plan there. Oh, here's the answer. It should be 2 pages. Yep. Continue 2 pages. So there's your series of paragraphs. That's good. See what your multiple choice looks like. This is why you have to be really careful. You're looking at the right question. You always want to be double checking your sections and your question numbers. That would be tragic if you had all the answers right, but put them in the wrong spot, because there's no way the person doing your assessment would ever know that. This one links, good. It links to the article, which is handy. Continuing on next page, multiple choice. This is what your open answers are going to look like. The question will be rewritten and then you answer it underneath. So if you need to say, was it details or one idea, you can reference the question again. There's your open. Okay, so it's not that long. See how it says, remember this was the one that had 2 pages in the question booklet? Identify one action you take in your daily life to be healthy. This is the answer. This is the length of answer they're looking for. So it's very much like the open question. Again, you can take rough notes if you want. It's always a good idea. Again, they're giving you kind of a snapshot of the article and the multiple choice questions that go with it. Oh, look, there's even a hand to tell you you're done. And that would be the end of booklet 2. You are going to be stuck there. We'll talk about what to bring and what not to bring in terms of the actual exam. but you are going to be stuck sitting there. If you do get it done quickly, maybe take a second to go back over your answers. It's better than staring